So you finally did it. You changed your name or your gender marker legally, and now you're staring at your green card or visa like, well, this is awkward. Immigration documents don't automatically update themselves, which honestly feels like a design flaw when you consider that the government knows basically everything else about you. Here's the thing most people don't realize: updating your name or gender marker on immigration documents is actually a separate process from updating your state ID, your social security card, or your passport. You have to go around to each one like you're collecting stamps, and immigration is its own whole stop on that tour. The first move is usually getting your other documents updated before you even touch your immigration paperwork. Think of it like building a case. You want your court order, your updated state ID, and your updated social security record all lined up and ready to go before you walk into immigration territory. If you have a green card, you're looking at filing a Form I-901, which is the application to replace permanent resident card. You're not replacing it because you lost it. You're replacing it because the name or gender on it no longer matches who you actually are. And that matters every single time you show an ID at a border. For gender marker changes specifically, it's worth knowing that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services updated its policy in 2021 to allow an X marker as a non-binary option, not just M or F. That's a relatively new development, and a lot of people, including some lawyers, haven't fully caught up to it yet. Now, if you're on a visa rather than a green card, the process gets a little twisty because your visa is issued by the State Department, not USCIS, and those two agencies are not exactly best friends who share notes. Your visa might need to be updated separately, and in some cases you may need to apply for a new one when you next travel. So timing actually matters here. One thing that trips people up is the passport piece. If you're a U.S. citizen navigating this process, your U.S. passport should ideally reflect your updated info before your immigration documents, because your passport is often the primary identity anchor for everything else. It's the queen on the chessboard. Here's where an immigration lawyer earns their fee. The intersection of gender identity and immigration law is still genuinely unsettled in some areas, and the wrong filing or the wrong sequence can create mismatches that cause real problems at a port of entry. This isn't the place to wing it with a YouTube tutorial and good vibes. Some people worry that updating their gender marker will somehow flag their file or create scrutiny, and that fear is understandable, but it's not really how the administrative process works. USCIS is reviewing whether your paperwork is complete and consistent, not making editorial judgments about your identity. The documentation you'll typically need includes a court order for the name change, medical or legal documentation for the gender marker update depending on your state, and your existing immigration documents. That list sounds simple, but gathering all of it, making sure the dates line up, and submitting everything in the right order is where things quietly fall apart for people who go it alone. Something worth knowing is that some states make gender marker changes incredibly easy with just a self-attestation form, while others still require letters from doctors or additional legal steps. Your state's process directly affects what documentation you'll have available for the immigration side of things, so geography genuinely changes your experience here. If you're in removal proceedings or have any complicated immigration history, please hear this clearly. Do not attempt this update without a lawyer. The stakes are too high, the paperwork is too technical, and one inconsistency can snowball in ways that are genuinely hard to reverse. The community of trans and non-binary immigrants is actually pretty well connected, and organizations like the National Immigrant Justice Center or Immigration Equality have resources specifically designed for this intersection of identities. You don't have to figure this out from scratch when people have already mapped the terrain. At the end of the day, your documents should reflect who you are. That's the whole point of identity documents in the first place. The process exists, it works, and while it's annoying and multi-stepped, people navigate it successfully every day with the right preparation. If you want to learn more about how our company can help you through this process, check out the links in the description.